caught accidentally of one of my little spats that I did have with my husband, and it was about gaslighting and all this other shit. And he was just like, you don't realize how you talk to people. Like, you talk to people like in a condescending manner. Like, you talk to them like they're always wrong and you right. But then when somebody spits that shit back at you, you just shut down. You be like, you know what? You right, you right. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. If you triggered, then shit, I can't fucking help you. But mind you, I said that shit at that time. But at that moment, I'm like, nah, I am fucking right. But then when I kept hearing this shit over and over, because mind you, I was watching this video like over and over and over today. And I was just like, damn, I'm a bitch. Like, it's like the way I
Yikes.
was talking to him, I was just like, damn, maybe he does have a valid point here. So in that moment or in those situations, yeah, I feel like, I am in the right. I'm doing this right. Like, this is the way I do it. I have to have control over whatever. But then when I actually hear it and I see myself, I'm like, okay, I need to take a few steps back and take a Zoloft. So it's a learning thing for me, for
Yeah,
sure.
sometimes you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. I get it. What's up, Cuzzo?
Um, so I have a tendency, speaking of condescending, as you all know, to be extremely condescending. And
No.
Latrice.
oh, you gonna make me lose my train of thought. But as you guys have so eloquently put it, yes, me. So I used to not only am I still condescending, but I used to be extremely violent. So combining being condescending with just popping off and hitting people, you know what I'm saying? Like, after I bust a motherfucker in their shit and talk down about them and make them feel 2 feet tall, then I'm like, that was wrong, and then I feel really, really bad, and then I turn into this pile of mush and I'm all sad and stuff because I didn't hurt people because I actually love them, and I'm like, well, hurt people, and, making excuses for shit that I'm doing, and you know what I'm saying, like, so to answer the question, yes, I have had several instances where I've taken a step back, looked at myself, and was like, wow, son, you fucked up, and then I felt like crap about it later.
Well, guess what? You are delivered, okay?
Amen.
Right.
Delivered.
This
All
time.
right.
I'm glad you reiterated the question, Trees, because by the time I got around to me, y'all know I
Come
forgot.
on, mama.
But I'm just like Tam. I don't like to admit that I am wrong. The chances of you hearing me say I was wrong or you were right is slim to none whatsoever. But it has been instances in past and my previous relationship where we would have a disagreement and something to be said, and now I'm just like, at the moment, because my mouth can be very slick, so don't come
But a
for
hard
me
K.
unless I send for you. Exactly. Just don't. Like, you don't want to get in that, because I think I said in the previous episode, you might come with fire, but I'm bringing everything. Like, I'm hitting below the jugger. I don't care. I'm thinking about the consequences later. So in a not very recent, but in a pretty recent disagreement, when she said something, how I made her feel, at the time, I probably said without saying, I don't give a fuck. But then as the night progressed and I slept on it, I had to apologize because I didn't know that what I was saying would make her feel that way. So, well, I don't know why I'm talking with my hands like this. Like, the listeners can see me. But
You recollecting.
it was just like, even thinking about it now, it's like, damn, babe, I'm sorry.
But why do y'all
I
think
was
that we do stuff like, why do you think it's so easy for us to fly off the handle and then wait, a couple hours next day and just be like, I was wrong?
because we react first and think last.
But that's the thing. It takes a while for me to fly off. So if I'm flying off, you did something.
It's your fault.
Ergo, therefore, you deserved it.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
I take a lot. Like, I'm like a sponge, yo. Like, because I know how I can react, because I know my tongue, it does. It takes a lot, and I hold and carry a lot before I pop off. Like, I mean, jump to certain
Same.
conclusions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm that overthinker, overanalyzer type person. So you got to be cut and dry with your responses, or I'm going to find every other hidden way around what you're saying. The back door, the hidden driveway, everything about what you're saying. So you got to be cut and dry, or else I'm going to figure out another way, or another way that you thought you were saying it. But I take so much, so for me to fly off, and again, I'm not saying you deserved it, but every action comes a reaction, and I just reacted.
Right.
Leave me alone is the conclusion of that, okay? Just leave me alone.
But I had a question though. When Ed was saying when she was like she had to apologize, do y'all believe in that? When people so when you apologize and you say, "I'm sorry for how it made you feel, but I'm not sorry for what I said."
Oh yeah, because that's how my apology goes. because because no, I'm being honest. Think about it though. If I'm saying something because at that moment I'm feeling like XYZ, but my deliverance is a little harsh, then okay, I'm going to apologize for delivering it, but the context of it is still going to remain the same. I'm like, it needed to be said.
Yeah.
And I'm like you, Tam, I hold everything in. So now we're at this argumentative stage, everything is coming out at once. I'm just vomiting up everything that I've been feeling over the past few months because I didn't express it at that given time. Is that my fault? Absolutely. But at the same time, it's like I need to know when to jump in and say this stuff. So I do hold myself accountable for holding things in. Will it change? Probably not. But I know it's there.
You got to practice, like, just random time. If it's something on your mind, you could be, y'all can just be watching a movie and just pause the movie, be like, you know what? And then just let it out. At least it's not in a high anxiety or high temper moment. Just throw it in on
you know what, Jay, I'm going to take that and I'm gonna utilize
try it.
that.
I need to try it myself.
And you know what? We're going to be sitting here watching something on a stick. And I'm just like, you know what? Remember back in 2016.
No. I said don't
can't be aggressive with it.
Right. You just take it when you both, chilling, you eating your popcorn, whatever y'all doing, watching y'all little movie.